ready, devil hunters, because you've contracted the podcast devil, the only show that pulls your ripcord.
Hello and welcome to the Podcast Devil. I am your host, Chris Wolfhard, and with me as always, Anime, Danime, and Wea Bob video games from GigaBoots.com.
This bed is really comfortable.
The Endless Eight.
And Dr. Agro, who probably remembers what the Endless Eight is.
And is currently having terrible flashbacks. Fuck you, Bob video games.
It's time for another episode of the Podcast Devil, wherein we recap and discuss this week's episode of Chainsaw Man. I actually don't know what the fucking title of this week's episode is. I better fucking find that out, huh? They don't show it at the start. It's not a Western show, so...
That's true.
Episode 6 of Chainsaw Man, Kill Denji. That is the title of the episode.
They should have done an Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing and just popped up with it.
You get like halfway into the episode.
Right?
Let's get started. We open on the end of the last episode where Arai walked down the stairs and realized it's a loop and there's only the 8th floor. Kobeni starts to violently vibrate apart. Like a washing machine that you threw a brick into.
Yep. You can hear the shoe in her brain keep hitting the wall and nearly eject out the door.
Like usually when you're watching fiction, you want to identify with strong and brave characters, but in this moment I'm like, nope, yeah, she's just like me for real.
She keeps going like this, her molecules just separate and she'll fade away.
Yeah, see, she's trying to vibrate out through the wall like the Flash.
Hell yes.
She's just chromatic aberrating, her fucking red and blue channels ripping apart.
Turning on no clip. Himino is like, Kobeni, do the Ahagao pose so that I'll know it's not a trick if I go down the stairs and you're still here. And then she does. And then, of course, it's just a loop. And Kobeni starts to shake apart even more. It's like they turned the washing machine up to high gear. Aki checks inside a room. Outside the window is another room.
That rules.
Another hotel room.
I love that shot.
He goes into it and leaves through the door and ends up on the opposite side of that hallway.
They have a really good like sense of camera work to this scene because it's so disorienting the way it moves around the room. And then it just ends up looking at above the bed where there's the framed image where the glass on it is reflecting him walking across the room. I'm like, this is really good. Normally you don't see this sort of like the room itself is a normal room technically, but the situation is so unsettling that they made the camera work disorienting, like almost like Vertigo. It was really good.
It's like one of the fucked up Breaking Bad shots where they attach the camera to like a shovel the character is carrying.
Right.
A lot of this episode was making me think of The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I wonder if Fujimoto's ever seen The Shining.
Probably not.
What a mystery.
Anyway, Aki comes out and Kobeni screams again. They're trapped on the 8th floor forever. Opening. Same opening. It's not quirky yet. It's not like the final episodes of Stardust Crusaders where you get Dio stopping time in the opening.
I can't wait till they add sound effects to the entire Chainsaw Man opening.
That always does work to build hype.
It's going to be good when they roll that strike.
That will actually be fantastic if they do it.
That would be fantastic. They're all chilling in a room. The clock is ticking and eating through their mind. They recap what they know. It's a devil's power. They're trapped. There's no way out through the windows or stairs or even drilling through the floor or ceiling. They just end up back on the same floor. Denji says it must be because Power killed that freaky head thing, and then Power gets indignant and says it was his idea. And then Agi says, no, a fucking devil's power goes away if you die. Shut the fuck up. Himina's like, what's the bullet thing telling you? And he's like, it's not doing anything. It's not reacting at all anymore. And Himina's like, they baited us. This was all a trick. Arai is shitting his pants and is like, other people are going to come, right? Right? And Himina says, if they do, I hope they don't also fucking get trapped like this.
Right? Yeah, they're going to send those people who are better at this than we are.
Kobeni is having her 4th panic attack of this day. She goes into like a depressive spiral crying and is like, my parents forced me to become a devil hunter because they wanted me to pay for my brother's college, and it was this or become a sex worker. I wanted to go to college too. Did we mention that this show's about capitalism?
It's very low key though.
I don't think we've mentioned that yet. Power thinks Kobeni melting is hilarious.
She might be right. Who knows?
What a mystery.
She just starts fucking losing her shit cackling. Arai is pissed at her cackling, but Himino sweeps in and basically gives Kobeni a juice box and starts patting her head and going, there, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And Aki's like, every clock on this floor says 8:18. I think time is frozen.
Which means no one's coming.
Which means no one's coming. Dingy is like, oh, this fucking rules. I can sleep as much as I want.
I have never related to a character more.
He's eventually this will be a problem. But that is downstream.
Yeah.
Right now,
Opportunity.
it's fucking nap time.
I like how this whole scene, before he even makes that comment, he's already tucked in.
Oh, yeah.
He's ready
Yeah.
for
It's
this.
just like that's what a bed's
Yeah, he's
for.
going blanky mode.
In his words, this bed is freaking sweet.
Yeah, he says, this bed is sweet. I would be a moron to not sleep in it while I have the chance. Wake me up if you figure something out, and falls asleep instantly. God, I wish I could do that. Himino wakes him up some amount of time later. They found food that people left behind, and the electricity still works, but they've made no other progress whatsoever. Aki is being a hard ass and out patrolling, trying to find something. Arai's having a panic attack. Kobeni tried to drink out of the toilet, so Himino had to knock her out?
It's insane.
It's unclear whether this was a stratagem on her part or a symptom.
And then Himino's like, and the fiend Power has gone insane. And then they cut to Power, who is going on a megalomaniacal rant. She's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And then using that, she's going to springboard and become the prime minister, and then use her position as prime minister to make humanity miserable, starting with a 100% sales tax.
It seems like a completely rational plan. I don't know what the problem is.
And then Dingy's like, no, this is normal. She's not affected at all.
Yeah, this isn't her going insane. This is just normal for her.
We're all mad here.
Himino's like, I better take my final Winston break. and pulls out a cigarette. Dingy points out that her and Aki smoke the same brand, and she says that, he learned to smoke from me. And then we get a flashback of them having a conversation about smoking. And she's like, come on, smoke. It's a good conversation starter. By the way, I can see through all of your motivations as a human being instantly without you telling me any of them. You're just that transparent.
He's like, I am. And then she goes, yeah. And also Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
But ma'am, my bones.
She's got that superliminal messaging.
Yeah. She's like, look, we're all going to die very soon. We might as well smoke. We get a little brief flash forward in the same flashback. A lady slaps Himino on the street. It was the girlfriend of her dead partner, because apparently the close ones of devil hunters who die get fucking pissed and lash out at other devil hunters because they can't do anything to the devils.
Mm-hmm.
So Aki gets real indignant and runs off after her and sticks gum on her clothes. And then comes back and is like, I got her back for you. I stuck gum on her clothes. She's going to look like such an idiot when people point out that she has gum stuck on her and she doesn't even know. And Himino starts fucking laughing.
I'd like to be very clear that when Aki runs off after that woman, I was very seriously considering that he was going to drag her into an alley and kick the shit out of her. And I'm still not convinced that isn't what he did.
I like this flashback because, like, past Aki, 1 year ago Aki, I think, or like 2 years ago, it wasn't that fucking long ago, is like 800% more dingy-ish.
Yeah.
We cut forward a little bit again, and they're eating at a restaurant. And Himino says, the best devil hunters aren't the ones that are strong or brave. It's the ones who are fucking insane. So you'll probably be pretty successful. And then she like keeps pushing the cigarettes on him.
It's like Dare always told me it would be like.
It is. It really fucking is. It's like she transformed into the fucking kid with a leather jacket and sunglasses from a Dare commercial. She's like, I contracted with the Joe Camel Devil.
Only nerds have strong bones and teeth. Come on.
Oh, she's making a good point.
He takes one and is like, fine, this will be the first and last cigarette I ever smoke. Then we smash cut to him entering the hotel room and saying, gimme. She's like, sorry, I'm halfway through the last one. And he's like, I don't care, gimme.
These are the rules.
So he takes it and takes a drag off, and Dingy just starts screaming, indirect kiss, indirect kiss.
That's illegal. You can't do that. That's practically an indirect kiss. And then he's just like, shut up. Don't care.
But Aki found the devil. It's the one power killed, but it is now a giant Akira-esque flesh mass. It starts to fucking talk. Let me eat Dingy and you guys can leave. That's the deal.
Huh.
Kobeni comes out like in Joker mode holding a fucking kitchen knife and tries to stab him, but Aki and Himeno rinse her instantly and she falls over crying and drooling from every orifice. Like Aki kicks the knife out of her hands and Himeno like elbow thrusts into her sternum and knocks her down crying.
Yeah, her faces really remind me a lot of that woman from The Shining. Like, I feel like they almost certainly used her as reference.
Entirely possible. You mean olive oil?
Yes.
They're like, Aki, fucking fox devil it. He's like, okay, pawn. But it doesn't do anything because the fox can't fucking break through a time freeze. Its powers are limited.
Yeah.
Himeno's like, well, let me try. And she like starts to juice it with all the ghost hands. Just grabbing handfuls of it and squeezing until it pops. And it's like, you fucking, this isn't my real body. This is just a big flesh mass. My heart isn't anywhere on this floor. You can't do shit. And then Dingy's like, well, I'm not going to let them kill me. You wouldn't let them go anyway. And Himeno's like, no, it actually would because it said contract. So it actually would be legally obligated to let us leave if we killed you.
And then everyone went, huh.
Well, everybody but Power.
Arai's like, we need to kill him. We need to kill him now. That's a good idea. Aki, who is not a fucking idiot, is like, it wants us to kill him because that benefits it somehow. Are you all morons? Power also wants to kill Dingy because she has to leave and win that Nobel Prize.
Right.
You can see Aki aging rapidly, being forced into the adult position in this scenario. We cut forward a little bit. Aki, Dingy, and Himeno are just sitting in the hallway watching the flesh mass and are bored.
You get long enough in any place, you can normalize anything.
Aki says, well, if they run out of options, I'll use my sword. And Himeno says, no, you're not allowed to use your sword under any circumstances. If it comes to that, we'll just have to kill Dingy.
Which he took really well.
Meanwhile, Power ate all the food and Kobeni is having a fucking panic attack because she ate all the food. Power thinks it is very funny and also blamed Dingy.
Yeah.
I feel like Kobeni is just having a panic attack, and it doesn't have that much to do with Power eating the food.
Kobeni and Arai like get at each other's throats because they're going crazy. And the flesh mass just fucking starts to advance all of a sudden. It's like, I'm getting more powerful because you're fucking freaking out and getting more scared of me. That's how this fucking works.
He's like, let me explain my stand.
And then the floor starts tilting and everything starts to like fall and the flesh mass is fucking coming after him. The whole hallway turns vertical.
Yeah. It's really good, this idea that the hotel has capsized.
It's like a big fucking mass of teeth now. It has like 18 sets of teeth in like a rows.
What was that Nolan movie that did something like this?
They had a hallway scene in Inception.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
that's
like,
it.
you mean the hallway scene in Inception? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, it's just like the Poseidon adventure.
Meanwhile, I'm like, it's like the Super NES game, SOS. That game's hard.
I need to watch Inception someday so I can know if the Evil Within stole the only scene from the Evil Within anyone remembers from it.
Oh, no.
Where a character falls down like a long shaft, but it turns out to be a hotel hallway, and then the perspective shifts and they're falling horizontally, and then gravity kicks in and they like hit the ground and roll.
I'd have to see how it's pulled off.
Kobeni is like begging them, kill Denji. Please, we have to kill Denji, please. I just want to kill Denji. Aki's going to use the sword, but Himeno locks him down with ghost hands because using it eats through his lifespan. Like he loses years each time he pulls that sword out. Kobeni and Arai are like, we're going to fucking kill him. So Arai pins Denji and Kobeni's coming in with the kitchen knife. But Aki shakes off the hands enough to get in the way and get stabbed. And he gets got bad.
Yeah.
Like 5 inches deep.
It is damn bad.
Aki says that even if Denji is a jackass who deserves to be stabbed a few times, he needs other devil hunters who also have as much brain damage as him so he can take on the gun devil. So he's not going to let Denji die.
This is very smart thinking.
Denji gets power to try and stem Aki's bleeding. She's like, well, I can, but it's hard. Do I have to?
It's a lot easier when it's my blood, but I guess I'll try.
And then Denji's just like, fine, you fucking babies. I'll go get eaten, but I'm not just gonna fucking die. I'm gonna turn all my chainsaws and cut him a lot until he gets sick of being cut and kill himself.
It's a very good plan.
Because, of course, they asked their party to kill Denji for him. So there's got to be a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's afraid of chainsaws, obviously.
Yes. Like it might be as simple as, I'm a big mass of flesh. I don't want to attack the guy made of chainsaws.
Right?
But even that's still an advantage. And then he just leaps down into its mouth, and that's the end of the episode.
Oh, hey, we got to see the ending for the very first time this episode. So,
Oh, that's true. We did get to see the ending for the very first time.
yeah, it's pretty cool that they have the stair sequence. It kind of reminds me of like visual illusion stuff, but it's dialed back and just focused on stairs, a lot of it.
Yes, it's very Escher-esque. Yeah.
It's very Esquire-esque. I think this ending is neat, but I could imagine a better ending for Chainsaw Man. I don't know, though. Maybe we'll see that sometime.
I mean, it's probably the result of production issues that we're on what, episodes 5, 6? And
6, yeah.
We're this late into the core, and this is the first time the ending appears.
I know.
Yeah, it's
pretty
weird.
strange.
I don't know if they were just waiting for this bridged episode, like if there's like a payoff for that later. I don't know. Right now, I'm assuming it's an intentional move, and we're just going to see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll just stick with it and see.
But we have a couple segments. But first, if you like this show and would like to support us, you can go to our Patreon.
Ooh.
At patreon.com/GB podcast.
Wow.
For as little as $5 a month, not only do you support this show, but you get many benefits, such as early access to 2 other shows, Chugging Bleach, a Bleach review show wherein we review all of Bleach. You can catch up with us for the new anime. You will not be caught up in any reasonable time frame for the new anime, but eventually you will be caught up for the new anime and can enjoy it with us. Also get access to Pokemon Go to the Movies, a monthly show where we review a Pokemon movie. All of them.
Yes.
One at a time until there's no more. Yes, we're even going to do that one where Ash is 3D and has the fucked up teeth.
And that other one where Ash kisses someone, and it's everyone needed me to know that was in a movie.
Wait, no, hang on. Are those the same movie? Because I might have to opt out if both of those are.
Well, I mean, now I'm obligated to tell you no.
Damn it.
Just wanted an excuse.
That's patreon.com/GB podcast.
But wait, Dan, there's other benefits they get.
There's more? There are many benefits.
There's more. There's
Oh my
many benefits,
God.
not just 2. Many is at least 3. You get extended versions of other shows we do when we have to leave ideas on the cutting room floor. And you get a patron exclusive show, one a month, where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/GB podcast. And if you don't have any money, you can always help us immensely by telling your friends, posting about this show on social media. Please do not give Elon Musk money to boost your post about our show. It's not worth it for that. Instead, just give us that money. You can also like this video on YouTube and review the show favorably on your favorite podcast app. That's patreon.com/GB podcasts.
And if you become a member this month, not only do we do it based on anniversary for when you sign up, not the first of the month, that has been changed. We're doing Bless Blontent this month, Bless Blontent Blub, which is a blub where we watch Bless Blontent. And we have really good taste in movies, so you get to vote on which of 4 different movies we have to watch.
And you don't get to know which of us put forth which movie.
That's
you
true.
have to guess. Form a parasocial relationship with us where you try to figure us out as people based on what movies we like.
Good luck. I'm moving as fast as Kobeni. Patreon.com/GBpodcast.
But it's time for the dingy moment of the week.
Dingy moment of the week.
I'm just going to give this one away for free, Bob.
Of course, is when he's tucked himself in the bed.
Of course. What else
So
could
cozy.
it be?
Oh yeah, no, that was the strongest I've ever been represented in media. It's just like, of course, like what's gonna happen? A devil will get you. They're right next to you. You'll be fine. Just take your nap.
I've recently been playing a very melee character in my tabletop RPG group.
Yeah.
So I really resonated with this moment where he went, "This sounds like a smart people problem. So you guys call me when you're done."
Yeah, normally we like to bring our own, but I'm like,
Aggro.
As Aki is, crossing from one room to another through the window and comes back out in the hallway, right before Kobeni freaks out, you see that Denji runs out of an adjacent room and says, "The windows just go across the hall," because of course he did. Aki went to investigate a thing, and in the second and a half he was out of line of sight, Denji was now bored and unsupervised and decided he was also going to run into an adjoining room, get out right before Aki, and shout the discovery.
Yeah, this episode takes place in a hotel, but I feel like with all the children Aki has to deal with, it would be much more thematically appropriate for it to take place in a supermarket.
yeah.
Just stuck on the soup aisle. Go to the next aisle. Well, there's
Soup.
just more soup.
God, that would be incredible.
Dan.
I'm weirdly enough, because of all of these disappearing options, I'm gonna have to go with the moment that Denji has to clarify Power's not going insane. This is normal for Power. Her idea that she's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize is absolutely just, don't worry, yeah, she's just normal.
Yeah, there's days of their home life we haven't seen. Who knows what things Power has said offhand?
He's just so fucking used to it and tired by now.
I do love how those two are just on the same wavelength most of the time, unless Denji has the opportunity to squad up with somebody else by making fun of Power.
Yeah. I mean, they're on the same wavelength, but they're out of phase. they're very sibling core, these two. Making the setting of a shitty hotel they're stuck in on their family vacation even better.
And I'll go last. I guess I have to pick the end of the episode where he's like, "I guess I'll get eaten. Or kill it. We'll see how this plays out." I bet I can bully it into killing itself.
It's like, are we done? Are we not solving the puzzle? Okay.
Now, this is something somebody told me. Where it's like, Denji tends to succeed in situations because he has the problem solving of a stupid yet ballsy 8th grader.
True.
I do, when watching him formulate plans and execute them, I keep picturing that scene from like the middle of Gurren Lagann where they break Simone out of prison and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "We're gonna blow up the moon." Why did you not think of that?
But before we get out of here, what everybody think of this episode?
I thought it was pretty good. It's interesting that this is like not only the first time we saw the ending, but also it's this weird continuation of last week that doesn't bring us to a new area. This is the first time the series has done that. Normally we'll have direct continuations, but they evolve and expand into a very different setting by then. We are still on the 8th floor. I did not expect that.
It is an interesting bridging episode where we are forced by the events to slow down, have a little bit of characterization, really feel out the more human side of our cast, as well as I really think this episode showcases how smart it is, as a cinephile, like you put all of your characters in the greatest outfit of any visual media, a black suit with a white shirt and a skinny black tie. Just Blues Brothers, Reservoir Dogs, all the greats. That is the uniform, and it's really working to best effect in this setting.
Yeah, I was also surprised to see it just all still be in the hotel, but it was really great seeing more Kobeni vibrate to death. And I actually like that end bit a lot, where we get to see like the dynamics evolving between Aki Power and Denji is like performing an almost family-like unit. It was like, oh yeah, that she acts like she doesn't want to help him with the blood loss, but does it anyway, and it all is neat.
I think this episode's just neat.
Basically.
This whole episode, I couldn't stop thinking, wow, this is a really interesting and well-shot thing happening in one location. Why can't any streaming service do even one episode like this in an 18-episode long streaming show?
I don't know who they're hiring anymore to write TV shows, but I don't think they're writers.
Well, yeah, it's the child of an executive.
We only have multiple confirmed cases of that.
I'm not really what you might consider to be a traditional author. I'm more of a narrative facilitating executive.
Go home.
There wasn't a single chainsaw in this episode. 1 out of 10.
This month's GigaBoots videos were brought to you by the continued support of our executive producers, such as Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Burning Pepsi Man, Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, and Virmvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these gamers. If you want to support GigaBoots so we can continue the content crunch, then head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.